Hello guys, welcome back. In this video we will be seeing how we can install Airflow 3.0 Plus using pip. So why we are recording this video, we already have a older video, but after version 3 they have changed quite a lot of things in the installation. So that's why I have created another documentation and then we will see how we can install it. So first few steps are same and then later we will see what is changed. So first thing first, I'm going to just update the operating system, so that is quite same, and then we're going to move into app directory. So we already have, if you don't have this created, then you can create it, or if you want to be in some other place, you can keep it there. Now inside there, let me remove the older one. And then create new Airflow directory. Now we will move inside Airflow directory and do ls to see that there is nothing. Now what I will do, I'm going to create the Python environment because this is pip installation, so we are going to put everything inside this environment. So let's create it first. Once it is created, we are going to activate it. Okay, it is created. I'm going to activate it. Now we are inside the environment. Now we are going to install few things. One is setup tools pip, and then this is something that is new. So this dependency is required, but surprisingly it is not available in default Airflow package. So I'm going to install it separately before we actually install the Airflow. Okay, so now our dependencies are installed. What I'm going to do is install Apache Airflow and then Apache Airflow provider for Fab. So this model is required when we want to create the user. So currently they have changed the user creation from here and now they have added it to the configuration, but that is not good, like having it in configuration, your username and password and everything. So that is why I'm still going to stick with the Fab model. So we are going to install it on top of Apache Airflow, and it is still not deprecated, so it is fine if we use it, but probably in next once any alternative to this is available, probably they will deprecate it. So I'm going to install both of these things. Now our Apache Airflow and provider for Fab is installed, so I can export this environment variable or create this environment variable. So I have this pwd, which is going to consider your current directory. For example, if I print it, it is going to have app/airflow, which is our current directory. Okay, so till this part everything is set up. Now our environment is ready, and what we are going to do is we are going to create the Airflow configuration file, which is here. So this is going to create, it is going to list all the default configuration that Airflow has into this file, so that when whatever we want we can modify it here and then use it. If you see, our configuration file is ready. Let's open it and edit it. What to edit I have added here, so I'm going to just do one by one. So let me find it. You can see it is already here, but it is commented. So by default it considers sequential executor, but I'm going to change it to local executor. Then in auth manager, so instead of having that simple auth manager, we are going to use, so you see here they have defaulted it to simple auth manager. We want it to be Fab auth manager. So I'm just going to copy it and paste it just below the line they have added, that is auth manager. And let me add another line here to make it separate. And then we have to add two different tokens. So let me generate two things. Let me close it. One is this, let me put it in Notepad. So this is going to be your first token. I'll tell you why we are generating two different things. And this is your second token. So I have kept it here. Now again we are going to edit the Airflow configuration, and here let's find the JWT token is required because it needs to authenticate via API, and then our CSRF token. You can disable the CSRF token, but let's have it because they have added the variables there, and they have some default value, but better to change it. So here we see our JWT secret. Just uncomment this and add our first secret here, and then the second one, secret key. Again I'm going to search for it, and I didn't see it here. So here it is. You see it is again here. So I'm going to remove the default one, whatever they have, and use the one that we just created. Close it. Now our configuration is done. If you want to change from, so when we are going to use this default, it is going to create a SQLite, but if you want to have PostgreSQL, you can install the PostgreSQL drivers and then use this. So then it will consider PostgreSQL instead of SQLite. Now everything is ready. We can start the DB migration. So what it will do, it will create, let me show you first. So there is no database file. If I do migrate, now you see it has it is saying that it created this file. So let me show you. It is now created here. So this is our SQLite database file, and then this is how we are going to create the user. If you run this specific command before configuring auth manager and installing this, it is not going to work. So make sure you have this as well as this configured, then you can run this command. Okay, now it is prompting me for password. I am going to put admin. You can change it, but for me it's fine. And at the end, let's start. So now earlier they used to call it a web server, now they are calling it API server. So let me start it. No, it will not run. The thing why it will not run, because something else is running on my port 8080. So I'm going to change it to port 8088. You can keep it 8080 if you don't have anything running, but for me it is something is running, so I cannot run it on 8080. Now you should see this specific thing saying that all IP addresses are allowed on this specific IP address that you insert or selected. And let me start it. It will take some time. Okay, so now you see our UI is running, and I can just log in with the admin username password that I have. Let me close all these things. And this is the new UI of Apache Airflow 3x or whatever version above 3 you can say. But yeah, this is the new UI. Here we have DAX, assets, browser, admin, security and all. So let me log out from here again and stop it, because we don't want to run it manually each time. I'm going to create another file called as airflow, run airflow.sh, and inside that I'm going to paste all these things. So the thing is, you can have the one single component they have created to run all these things, but I like to have all different things in different places, because for example, if you are working on a dev environment, you don't need to trigger anything, and then you can just avoid or do it without this specific component, and then keep everything else till you develop. Here I'm going to change one thing, that is my port. So instead of 8080, I'm again going to change it to 8088. Save it, and then we need to give execution permission. So just to be sure, you can just try running it one more time to check if this script is working properly. I'm going to refresh it because it will be down till everything starts. You can even disable the load example part, otherwise it will load the examples. See, it started loading the examples. You can disable it in the configuration file. We have load example true, and you can change it to false. but for me it's dev environment, I can have those. So now it is creating, giving all the permissions and so on. Till this I don't think it will be active, so let's wait. Now our airflow is back online with that script, so I'm going to log in again to check if everything is fine. So yes, everything is fine, there is nothing running. All is, now it is showing that the database help, scheduler held, trigger held and drag processor all are healthy. Earlier it used to show that they are not healthy, so I'm just going to kill it again and then create the service. So at the end we are going to create service so that airflow will start automatically and then it will be running as a service and we don't have to run it manually. To do that, I'm going to create the service here called airflow service, and I have already prepared this service. So you can see what we are doing is nothing but airflow home. We are setting that variable and Python path and then working directory, and then we are executing that bash file, that run airflow.sh that we created. I'm going to save it and then reload the daemon. Make sure we have the file read by systemctl. Then we're going to enable the service. So enable is nothing but it is going to create the link to make sure that it is started automatically once we start the server, and then we're going to start the service. So let's check if it is running. So now you can see it is running. Let's wait for some time, and you can see it is starting 4 different processes. One is scheduler, DAG processor, trigger and API server. It will take some time and then we will see the portal once it is back online. Okay, so after some time, after waiting a lot of time, this thing is up and running. So one thing I changed, it was taking a lot of time, so I just changed the executor, as we are currently using the SQLite, so that's why I changed it back to sequential executor, because SQLite doesn't support parallelism. But if you're using PostgreSQL, then even local executor should be fine. So now it is showing that health of all of these components, the database, metadatabase, scheduler, trigger and drag processor, all is having status healthy. So that's it for this video. If you like this video, please do like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.